And last question, number 3. We're going to graph the data from your table and respond to the questions. Scale the x-axis by 1 and the y-axis by 20s. So let's start making my x-axis at 0 months, 1 month, 2 months, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to label this months. And then on my y-axis, we're going by 20s. So this will be 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Just for me to save room, I'm going to start going by hundreds now, but still my scale is 20. So this would be 120, 140, 160, 180. This will be 200, so I'm going to label that. 220, 240, 260, 280, 300. And go ahead and continue labeling that. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to. Now that we're all labeled to 700, I'm going to label this. This is total rabbits. Perfect. And I can plot my points. So at 0 months, I had 4 rabbits. At 1 month, I had 8 rabbits. At 2 months, I had 16. At 3 was 32. At 4 was 64. 5 was 128. 6 was 256. And then at 7 was 512. Perfect. At this point, we can start answering the questions. So A, is this graph increasing or decreasing? You can tell by my graph going up that this is going to be increasing. What is the y-intercept? Well, we've got our y-axis right here, and my graph intercepts the y-axis at our first point. So my first point was 0, 4. So 0, 4 is my y-intercept. For question C, what is the x-intercept? This is going to be where it touches my x-axis. For this one, go ahead and submit this answer into Socrative. So it's your next question that should be there. Question 3C, what is the x-intercept? It is a multiple choice question, so go ahead and answer that. You may want to pause the video. Question 4 says, what is the domain? So my domain and range talk about my x and y values. So D comes before R in the alphabet, so D is going to talk about my x values. My x values start at 0. And my x values are going to go all the way up until we get to infinity. So 0 is less than or equal to x, which is less than infinity. All my x values are in between 0 and infinity. Sorry, that was question D. So let me just rewrite that here and erase it up here. Perfect. E, now what is the range? I want you to go ahead and submit this question into Socrative. It's your next one. And remember, range talks about my y value. So what's the lowest y value and what's the highest y value? Question F, what is the minimum value? When we start talking about minimum and maximum, we're talking about our y. So my very smallest y value, my very smallest y total of rabbits is going to be 4. And then lastly on Socrative, go ahead and put what 3g is, what's the maximum. So how high are my rabbits going to get? And the last question is question H. So is this an example of a continuous or discrete function? Go ahead and put whatever you think for this one. Remember, continuous means that every single decimal here means we would connect the line. And every single decimal makes sense. For discrete, go ahead and it would just be the dots make sense, not the spaces in between. I would take either answer as long as you have a good explanation. If it was me, I would say discrete. And the reason I would say discrete is because it doesn't make sense to have a half a rabbit. So it doesn't make sense to have a half a rabbit. So this is the end of the classwork. If you are done with this and class is over, then you can go ahead and put it away. Just complete the exit slip on Socrative. If there's still time left in class, then go ahead and start working on the homework.